We're back with the Community Quilt from Rose City Originals in Portland, Oregon. Apparently this skill level is beginner. I think I disagree. Okay. This is Mum's roll, and she got block 18, which is the Diamond Star, which has 7 colours and a shit ton of pieces. So we have them all here. Let's try and figure this out. Oh, that's going to need 9. All right, let's try and work out what this is. So we've got a square on point, which is supposed to be cut on the bias, and I hope no one from Rose City Originals ever watches this because I never cut them on the bias. Hang on, Mum, we're going to try and make this a little bit neater for you. I like this neck thing. All right, so what have we got? We have sew a small half square triangle to each of the squares on point as shown. All right, well, let's take this one because they're first up. So that's gonna go, we might zoom out a little bit for this one. That's gonna go like that. All right, so far so good. Not very straight, but that's me. Okay, well then we're gonna press open the seams. So a small, so this is the quarter square. Okay, so we're gonna, let's take these two. All right, so we're going to sew one of those and one of those. Okay, we're going to do that 4 times. So one of those and one of those. Just kind of line them up here. Pretend to be neat because we know we're not. Okay, they're all the same way. Yep, they're all the same way. No, we'll just put that one there. Okay. And then sew these together. All right, so step 1 is to sew all that together separately. So I'll be back in intervals to do that on account of it doesn't like to be paused for too long. So I'm going to do these first because they're relatively quick and these require more ironing. So let's see how my cutting was, because it was a bit abrupt. Oh no, that one's not too bad. I think I cut these as 4s, so we're just going to put them over there. No idea how these are going to go together, but I think we just have to trust the process. All right. Oop, that's definitely wonky. All right. We'll just sew these in like a little chain. Make them a little bit neater. All right. I'll see you back shortly. Okay, so these are done. I'm not trimming them yet because we obviously have no earthly idea whether or not they're right, but we'll put them to one side. All right, I'm going to do this one now. And I prefer to crease the triangle and iron it when I'm attaching it to a square or a diamond, as this one's supposed to be, because I'm not very good at lining these up otherwise. And that just makes my life easier. And then I'll also, it's not on, and then I will do the same as this one. And don't leave anything on the wool board too long, because that happens. So that's why it's like the only tool that goes back in its spot. Okay, so I am just going to line these up. I do not pin these because I'm lazy. And then I'm going to do the two opposite sides first, iron them out, and then do this side. So, show you on the white. It's really bad to show you there. I'll do that there. So you sort of end up with your edges like that. I sew from the triangle side. I have no idea why. It's probably not right. Let's see if I can. Oh, gotta sit there if I'm going to do that. And I sew right through. So, hang on, I'm a bit wonky. Don't really know what's going on here. You could see the phone. It's like on an angle. Let me do that for you. And then I don't need to go back and iron it out yet because these two don't interfere with each other. But sort of even on both sides. It's not a very good display. That better? There you go. Mostly even on both sides. I don't cut very evenly, so you know, that'll impact it. So it's looking pretty good. I say that now. It's late to land. I might have to redo this one. I think we should zoom back out when I come here. So now some people trim those off. I prefer not to until I'm at the very end, because I'm a bit messy and sometimes I have to re-sew things. And I've kind of lost my little line, so I'll fold it pretty evenly, and because it's already a bit warm from the iron, I just do that, and then it comes back. All right. So pretty good. It's relatively happy. I don't really care, that's not happy. I can still see my little fold. Roughly about there. Oh, roughly about there. Okay, we're back here. Right, we're looking okay. So that's 2 of these down. All right, now we've got to do this guy. So, just have a look. All right, so these don't line up. All right. I'm not overly confident in this bit here. So, I'm gonna see if this helps me to feel better about the process by just ironing these little halfway points in like I would if I were doing a square. Alright, now hang on, we better do this the right way because that's how we've said we're going to do it. So I'll line up that with that. We'll see how we go. We're okay. Alright. I mean, that's looking pretty good. Let's give it an iron. Alright. So then we line up. I'm going to go over here. It's going to be on this one with this one. Yeah, well, confidence levels rapidly decreasing. Will that stop me? No, it won't. I'll line that up ever so neatly. Bump the camera around a bit. Iron. Alright, well, looks alright. Alright, well, I'm going to pause and do all of those because I don't think you need me to repeat that. And yeah, let's see how we go after that. Okay, we're on to the last one. Now, tips. These tips seem, like a good idea. I've sewn them all in the exact same order so that my overlapping seams are the same. And I always try and do this when I'm doing, when I'm doing triangles or diamonds. So I do think that matters for how nice it looks at the end with something relatively simple. Alright, this is, that didn't go very well. Let me line that again. It's a lot easier when I'm not trying to look through the camera or the phone to see where everything goes. Let's see, I just didn't feel that was right, and I was right. Okay, last one. Okay. All right, now we have to assemble. So this guy goes in the middle like this. I'm going to zoom out. Okay. We're going to, okay. So then this guy goes like this. And then like this. Okay. So we're going to go this one to this one and this one to this one. This one to this one, this one to this one, and then 1, 2, and 3. So this now is where I'm going to cut off my edges. Because, fuck it, what's the worst that can happen? Oh, I bet I can't say that on YouTube. Oops. That wasn't so delicate. We should make sure that that goes back the right way. Okay. We're going to do it one at a time. All right. Let's go. Don't actually know if that helps me anyway. Okay, and then we're gonna go that way. That's not the same size. What are we gonna do? Which side are we gonna make it match? We're gonna make it match the top for no discernible reason except it's that much different. And I could probably hide that seam later. Who knows? Worst case scenario, it doesn't work and we're making it again. I feel like I've just sewn this the wrong way. Because I have. Whoops daisy. I've sewn it this way when I should have sewn it that way. So let's get the little unpicker. It's a little bit of a whoopsie. We get a lot of whoopsies when I'm sewing. We get even more whoopsies when I'm sewing with one. Alright, so let's just make sure that goes back the right way. Pretend like we care about the threads going away. Okay. Alright, so we're still going to match to the top. Let's just center it. Screw it. Chuck it in. Hope for the best. Give a little iron. Find that seam. Give a little iron. Alright. Let's trim these off. Should probably trim them off in a view of the camera. Oh look, those seams don't match either. Are we sensing a theme? Probably gonna have to learn when to zoom out and when not to zoom out. A little confetti here. Normal people do that over a bin, but I don't, because I like to make a mess. Alright, well, these don't match up. So, we're going to do that. Iron the center. Roughly line the center up with not that center, but this center. And then I'm just going to estimate that that's not supposed to be there. So I'm going to line it up like that and hope for the best. I don't even know if you can see that. Alright, well, I feel like that was not the worst idea I've ever had yet. It's looking pretty decent. we're going to do our little, same little trick-ish thing here. It's important that you line up the edges of the white fabric, because if you're like me and they look like that, you're going to get in trouble lining up the wrong fabric, because then you won't really be in the middle. But also based on what you can see so far about my sewing, I don't think it really matters. All right, well, oops, on camera. There you go. Same problem, same solution-ish. Let's see. Look, we're gonna knock the coffee over. All right, look. Not the end of the world. Do I think this is gonna come out fantastically? No. Has that ever stopped me before? No. Do I think these match up? No. Do I think these should match up? Yes. In fact, I do. I feel like something is too big. This is a lot too big. Does it say what size the edge of the quilt? Okay, we're gonna get, oh no, this is an old one, so, okay. So this is definitely too big, because this is the previous block. So this one's definitely too big. Equally, this one's definitely too small. So, what do we think is wrong? I do not know what we think is wrong. Is that the same size? They're the same size? I don't know. What are we going to do? Do we finish it, or do we try and troubleshoot this? Something's... I feel like that's wrong. I feel like we should probably stop here and we should go think about what we've done and start again. It could be, well, let's face it, most likely my measurements are wrong, but I just don't know which ones are wrong. So I'm going to measure this, and then I'm going to come back and work out what I've done wrong, and then we will redo block 18. And this is why we have the community quilt, so we can practice instead of screwing up the block of the month quilt, because that fabric's really pretty. And these are just my Amazon and Aldi scraps. So stay tuned for a block 18 redo.